USA and is a level 3 candidate for Chartered Financial Analyst USA. To achieve this vision, he believes in leveraging the intellectual and emotional capital here in the faculty and student community to create tomorrow's global leaders today. He believes in promoting and sustaining culture of integrity, openness and transparency that stokes curiosity at every turn, encourages collaboration and gets the best out of every student. Our promoter, Honorable Ashwini Jadhav ma'am, has played a pivotal role in establishment of institutes in Navi Mumbai. She has established herself in the entertainment industry by acting in Hindi theatre, Gujarati films and Hindi serials. She has produced English play exhibited in Tata NCPA, was member of Censor Board for Film Certification CBFC for 2 years, winner of WOW Awards as an independent entrepreneur and socialite, a philanthropist at heart who believes in giving back to the society with her never-ending quench for learning has motivated her to uplift and benefit the society by becoming a counselor, mental health practitioner and certified Access Bars facilitator. She has also attended Landmark Forum and Rebirthing Breathwork, participated in Times Women's Drive for Awareness on Breast Cancer in 2018, believes in educating the youth of the nation to rebuild a better tomorrow. Working as a trustee member of Janista Trust, which encompasses of 23 educational institutes for over 2 decades, has helped her evolve as an entrepreneur and socialite. Our promoter, Ms. Sharmishta Jadhav ma'am, is the first women commercial pilot from Marathwada region. She has studied education, innovation and social entrepreneurship in comparative perspective at Harvard University, Boston, USA. She is a pioneer in development of women in Indian aviation sector. Our campus is located in the heart of Navi Mumbai, Ghansoli, which is very near to Thane Belapur Industrial Belt. This city's businesses is growing at a rapid pace with proposed international airport in Navi Mumbai. The Raigad district, which is in the neighborhood of Navi Mumbai, is also experiencing a huge growth by increasing the opportunities for everyone. RGCMS is spread across 3.5 acres land, including built-up area of 1986 square meter to provide state-of-art infrastructure and learning resources. It is designed to provide an excellent ambience for academic activities. It has sports ground with well-maintained garden area and sports facilities for the students. The vision of RGCMS is to be an institute that nurtures business professionals to deliver social and economic impact. The mission of RGCMS is to provide a platform for academic delivery and coherence with defined teaching process, to encourage our faculty and students for industry-academia interaction, to expose and inculcate social ethical values in students. Our core values are ethical behavior, socially responsible, integrity, transparency and fairness and collaboration and teamwork. The director of our institute, Professor Dr. Dinesh Gabne, is a seasoned professional with total experience of over 20 years. He holds a PhD in business management and has published as well as presented numerous research papers in globally indexed national and international journals. Apart from this, he is editorial board member, reviewer of many management journals. He is a PhD supervisor of JJT University, Rajasthan for management subject. His academic achievements include Outstanding Teacher Award by IGCCI, Best Researcher Award by DK International Research Foundation and Innovator Educator Award by Global Trump Foundation. His area of interest includes strategic management and quantitative techniques. He is an author of several internationally published reference books and textbooks. He has patents too in his credit so far. As an expert in SPSS statistical packages for social sciences, he is a resource person in various reputed institutes for their RUSA MHRD sponsored programs. He is a member of the Board of Studies and lifetime member of Center for Education Growth and Research and Star International Foundation for Research and Education. We at RGCMS undertake numerous ISR Institute social responsibility activities like cleanliness drive, tree plantation activity, blood donation camp, Safe Soil Campaign, Thalassemia Awareness, Road Safety Awareness, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, CPR training amongst others. RGCMS takes initiatives to conduct seminars and workshops to bring together subject matter experts and industry leaders to share their knowledge and thoughts. Students are able to learn new things, develop their analytical thinking, interpersonal skills, raise their talent and capacities by attending these workshops and hands-on experiences. We conduct various seminars and drives such as seminar on bamboo products by the founder and CEO of Bamboo India, Mr. Yogesh Shinde. Seminar on supply chain management by the founder of Mumbai Kadabbawala, Mr. Raghunath Medge. Seminar on eye donation and conduction of organ donation drive at various malls and public places. Industrial visits are also organized for students to get practical exposure of the management theories and concepts. National industrial visits were organized in Vardhaman Textiles situated in Himachal Pradesh, Gate and Movement Analysis Lab System situated in Rajasthan, Group SEB situated in Chandigarh and many more. International industrial visits were also organized for the students to gain international exposure in Tiger Breweries and Ney Water Plant situated in Singapore, Middlesex University and Utmost Manufacturing situated in Dubai. Along with national and international industrial visits, one-day local industrial visits are also conducted for the students to make the most of the industries located locally. One-day local industrial visits were organized at Sahyadri Farms, Masgaon Dock Limited, Common Effluent Treatment Plant CETP and Rashmi Chemicals of others. Student body is the voice of students. It facilitates participative decision making by their representation in various committees. We at RGCMS give students a platform for taking part in various committees which helps in shaping themselves for future. Students conducted different activities such as inter-college debate competition, post-mortem of failed startups, idea generation contest, workshop on My Story session by successful innovator, business quiz in Zest 2023 amongst others. Student development programs were organized where the students were organizers as well as the speakers. SDPs on designing effective PowerPoint presentation, Google Form a digital data collection tool, craft and research papers, creating presentations on Canva and many more. Student body also organizes events for students like freshers and farewell for the students every year. RGCMS library has a very rich collection of books. It has several useful in-house digital resources like university question papers, syllabus and institutional archives are also available in the library. It is a fully computerized with application of barcode technology and well-known library management software named SOUL. The software extends the facilities like WebOPEC to search books and journals available in the library. There is a dedicated computer laboratory with high-speed internet connectivity and free Wi-Fi for the students. Students are encouraged to make the most of the facility provided to them for practical, academic research, presentations, preparations for interviews and studies. Our classes and seminar halls are fully furnished and air-conditioned with a capacity of 80 to 100 students. These classrooms offer the comfort to the students by enabling them to sit for longer hours with concentration and ease. There is a power backup facility for the uninterrupted power supply to make sure the classes are not being hampered. There is a playground sports ground where the different sports activities such as box cricket, tug of war, badminton, volleyball are organized. Zest is the cultural fest of RGCMS. Every year, we celebrate Zest with great enthusiasm and zeal. In this cultural event, there are numerous activities and competitions for students, and the competitive aura of the competitors make these events more charming. Students are encouraged to participate in various activities and competitions like mehendi, face painting, nail art, rangoli, dancing, singing, fashion show, and the last day is the sports day where all the students play the indoor and outdoor games in the college campus. To promote growth, placement, internships and faculty exchange, we have signed MOUs with different companies, institutions and research consultancies. Our students participate in different intercollegiate events and have won several trophies in same. They have also published numerous research papers and participated in Ektara National Research Conference paper publication, in which our student won the paper presentation and publication competition. Our awards and accolades are Edupreneurs from Times of India, CSR collaboration with Rotary Club, Business School of the Year by Indian Icon Awards 2022, Most Trusted Management College Award by Eminent Research 2022, Business School of the Year by Kitescraft Productions at EEA 2022 Conference, and Management Institute of the Year Award, amongst others. We widely use G Suite for emails, calendars, classrooms, and Google Meet. We also use Zoom for webinars. We have our own homegrown course file system and LMS. We have a strong social media presence on Instagram with the name RGCMS Official and on Facebook as well as on LinkedIn. Students undertook a live project under Entrepreneurship Development Committee wherein they developed more than 300 creatives. The team members were enrolled in various courses to understand basic concepts of digital marketing. They learned and applied all the concepts simultaneously, resulting in remarkable increase of followers from 56 to 1800. To address curriculum gap, students were encouraged to upskill themselves by enrolling in LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, Coursera, Google, Tata Steel Capability Development, IBM Skills Build for short-term certificate courses. Think Management, Think RGCMS, Aim High. Rajiv Gandhi College of Management Studies, Ghansoli, Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra is established under Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Education, Science and Technological Research, Janister Trust. Janister Trust was established in the year 1985 under the dynamic leadership of our chairman Shri Vittal Rao Jadhav Sir to meet the increasing needs of the students for quality education. Janister Trust is managing over 30 institutions which include schools, degree colleges, engineering college, agricultural colleges and hostels in Nanded, Aurangabad and Navi Mumbai. Today, Janister's schools and colleges are well known for its teaching and pedagogy. Honorable Shri Vittal Rao Jadhav Sir has played a pivotal role in establishment of various educational trusts across Maharashtra, namely MIT Pune and Marathwada Mitra Mandal Pune. He has established about 30 educational institutes all over Maharashtra under the banner name of Janister Trust in various fields like management, engineering, agriculture, biotechnology, research and many more. His ideology reflects in the vision and mission of RGCMS. He believed that education is necessary to deliver a social and economic impact in the society. He promotes industry-academia interaction to provide better exposure to the youth of our nation. Our promoter, Honorable Sunil Jadhav Sir, is an eminent enterprising educationalist and social entrepreneur. He has gained a prominent position in the society due to the exemplary work he has done in his career. His rise to prominence can be attributed to his strong willpower, caliber, conviction, dedication, and leadership quality. He did his BE in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from BITS Pilani, MS in Computer and Information Science from NJIT, New Jersey, USA, and is a Level 3 candidate for Chartered Financial Analyst, USA. To achieve this vision, he believes in leveraging the intellectual and emotional capital here in the faculty and student community to create tomorrow's global leaders today. He believes in promoting and sustaining culture of integrity, openness and transparency that stokes curiosity at every turn, encourages collaboration and gets the best out of every student. Our promoter, Honorable Ashwini Jadhav Ma'am, has played a pivotal role in establishment of institutes in Navi Mumbai. She has established herself in the entertainment industry by acting in Hindi theatre, Gujarati films and Hindi serials. She has produced English play, exhibited in Tata NCPA, was member of Censor Board for Film Certification CBFC for 2 years, winner of WOW Awards as an independent entrepreneur and socialite, a philanthropist at heart who believes in giving back to the society with her never-ending quench for learning has motivated her to uplift and benefit the society by becoming a counselor, mental health practitioner and certified Access Bars facilitator. She has also attended Landmark Forum and Rebirthing Breathwork, participated in Times Women's Drive for Awareness on Breast Cancer in 2018, believes in educating the youth of the nation to rebuild a better tomorrow, Working as a trustee member of Genista Trust, which comprises of 23 educational institutes for over 2 decades, has helped her evolve as an entrepreneur and socialite. Our promoter, Ms. Sharmishta Jadhav ma'am, is the first women commercial pilot from Marathwada region. She has studied education, innovation and social entrepreneurship in comparative perspective at Harvard University, Boston, USA. She is a pioneer in development of women in Indian aviation sector. Our campus is located in the heart of Navi Mumbai, Ghansoli, which is very near to Thane Belapur Industrial Belt. This city's businesses is growing at a rapid pace with proposed international airport in Navi Mumbai. The Raigad district, which is in the neighborhood of Navi Mumbai, is also experiencing a huge growth by increasing the opportunities for everyone. RGCMS is spread across 3.5 acres land, including built-up area of 1986 square meter to provide state-of-art infrastructure and learning resources. It is designed to provide an excellent ambience for academic activities. It has sports ground with well-maintained garden area and sports facilities for the students. The vision of RGCMS is to be an institute that nurtures business professionals to deliver social and economic impact. The mission of RGCMS is to provide a platform for academic delivery in coherence with defined teaching process, to encourage our faculty and students for industry-academia interaction, to expose and inculcate social ethical values in students. Our core values are ethical behavior, socially responsible, integrity, transparency and fairness, and collaboration and teamwork. The director of our institute, Professor Dr. Dinesh Gabne, is a seasoned professional with total experience of over 20 years. He holds a PhD in business management and has published as well as presented numerous research papers in globally indexed national and international journals. Apart from this, he is editorial board member, reviewer of many management journals. He is a PhD supervisor of JJT University, Rajasthan for management subject. His academic achievements include Outstanding Teacher Award by IGCCI, Best Researcher Award by DK International Research Foundation, and Innovator Educator Award by Global Triumph Foundation. His area of interest includes strategic management and quantitative techniques. He is an author of several internationally published reference books and textbooks. He has patents too in his credit so far. As an expert in SPSS statistical packages for social sciences, he is a resource person in various reputed institutes for their RUSA MHRD sponsored programs. He is a member of the Board of Studies and lifetime member of Center for Education Growth and Research and Star International Foundation for Research and Education. We at RGCMS undertake numerous ISR Institute social responsibility activities like cleanliness drive, tree plantation activity, blood donation camp, Safe Soil campaign, thalassemia awareness, road safety awareness, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, CPR training, amongst others. RGCMS takes initiatives to conduct seminars and workshops to bring together subject matter experts and industry leaders to share their knowledge and thoughts. Students are able to learn new things, develop their analytical thinking, interpersonal skills, raise their talent and capacities by attending these workshops and hands-on experiences. We conduct various seminars and drives such as seminar on bamboo products by the founder and CEO of Bamboo India, Mr. Yogesh Shinde. Seminar on supply chain management by the founder of Mumbai Ka Dabbawala, Mr. Raghunath Medge. Seminar on eye donation and conduction of organ donation drive at various malls and public places. Industrial visits are also organized for students to get practical exposure of the management theories and concepts. National industrial visits were organized in Vardhaman Textiles situated in Himachal Pradesh, Gate and Movement Analysis Lab System situated in Rajasthan, Group SEB situated in Chandigarh, and many more. International industrial visits were also organized for the students to gain international exposure in Tiger Breweries and Ney Water Plant situated in Singapore, Middlesex University and Utmost Manufacturing situated in Dubai. Along with national and international industrial visits, one-day local industrial visits are also conducted for the students to make the most of the industries located locally. One day local industrial visits were organized at Sahyadri Farms, Masgaon Dock Limited, Common Effluent Treatment Plant CETP, and Rashmi Chemicals of others. Student body is the voice of students. It facilitates participative decision making by their representation in various committees. We at RGCMS give students a platform for taking part in various committees which helps in shaping themselves for future. Students conducted different activities such as inter-college debate competition, post-mortem of failed startups, idea generation contest, workshop on My Story session by successful innovator, business quiz and Zest 2023 amongst others. Student development programs were organized where the students were organizers as well as the speakers. SDPs on designing effective PowerPoint presentation, Google Form a digital data collection tool, crafting research papers, creating presentations on Canva, and many more. Student body also organizes events for students like freshers and farewell for the students every year. RGCMS library has a very rich collection of books. It has several useful in-house digital resources like university question papers, syllabus and institutional archives are also available in the library. It is a fully computerized with application of barcode technology and well-known library management software named SOUL. The software extends the facilities like WebOPEC to search books and journals available in the library. There is a dedicated computer laboratory with high-speed internet connectivity and free Wi-Fi for the students. Students are encouraged to make the most of the facility provided to them for practical, academic research, presentations, preparations for interviews and studies. Our classes and seminar halls are fully furnished and air-conditioned with a capacity of 80 to 100 students. These classrooms offer the comfort to the students by enabling them to sit for longer hours with concentration and ease. There is a power backup facility for the uninterrupted power supply to make sure the classes are not being hampered. There is a playground sports ground where the different sports activities such as box cricket, tug of war, badminton, volleyball are organized. Zest is the cultural fest of RGCMS. Every year, we celebrate Zest with great enthusiasm and zeal. In this cultural event, there are numerous activities and competitions for students, and the competitive aura of the competitors make these events more charming. Students are encouraged to participate in various activities and competitions like mehendi, face painting, nail art, rangoli, dancing, singing, fashion show, and the last day is the sports day where all the students play the indoor and outdoor games in the college campus. To promote growth, placement, internships and faculty exchange, we have signed MOUs with different companies, institutions and research consultancies. Our students participate in different intercollegiate events and have won several trophies in same. They have also published numerous research papers and participated in Ektara National Research Conference paper publication in which our student won the paper presentation and publication competition. Our awards and accolades are Edupreneurs from Times of India, CSR collaboration with Rotary Club, Business School of the Year by Indian Icon Awards 2022, Most Trusted Management College Award by Eminent Research 2022, Business School of the Year by Kitescraft Productions at EEA 2022 Conference and Management Institute of the Year Award amongst others. We widely use G Suite for emails, calendars, classrooms and Google Meet. We also use Zoom for webinars. We have our own homegrown course file system and LMS. We have a strong social media presence on Instagram with the name RGCMS Official and on Facebook as well as on LinkedIn. Students undertook a live project under Entrepreneurship Development Committee wherein they developed more than 300 creatives. The team members were enrolled in various courses to understand basic concepts of digital marketing. They learned and applied all the concepts simultaneously, resulting in remarkable increase of followers from 56 to 1800. To address curriculum gap, students were encouraged to upskill themselves
176 out of total 180 countries that were assessed. This is for conservation index. Now, how did they calculate this? It's about, how much land area do we hold, how much wildlife do we have, and how much efforts are we taking to protect this wildlife. So it assesses on various parameters, one being the policy and the laws that the country has, and the other being the effectiveness of the implementation that we are doing. So now that we know that India is having 176th rank, it's high time that we not just wake up but also take actions. So on that note, we begin with our presentation for the day, effective waste management practices for sustainable future. Waste. Now, what does the word waste mean? In different places, in different contexts, waste is called by different names. But the most popular ones are it's a discard or a refuse. Now, what does that mean? Something that has lost its value or utility for the user. Someone else may find it useful. Let's say if I discard some plastic or bottle or whatever from my home, the moment it leaves my door, it's a waste for me. But some other person who is in the waste management industry might pick it up, might recycle. But for me, it's waste. It has been discarded by me and it needs to be disposed. Now let's broadly look into the classification of waste based on nature or the type of waste. Okay, the first one is something that we are very familiar with, compostable waste. Now, ideally, we should not be calling this waste at all because it is a product of nature, and whatever nature produces, nature takes care of it by its own means. Only when humans intervene, the composting process becomes slower. Let's say when we mix some chemicals into something that is degradable, it would take longer time because bacteria or other fungus cannot replicate or germinate, survive and thrive in that polluted environment. Now, in this, we need to focus that there is a subcategory called as raw waste. Raw is something which is uncooked. So whatever is the leaf litter that we collect from garden, whatever food waste, suppose हमारे घर में धनिया है, मिर्ची है, fruit peelings are there, vegetable cleanups are there. So that is one. And coconut shells. Now many times we generate coconut shells. It is technically biodegradable. But if you put it in a compost bin, do you expect it to degrade in a week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week? No, it might take years for the coconut shell to completely decompose. Okay. And the second category is cooked waste. Now, why we are emphasizing on these two categories, we'll look into it when we come later in the composting chapter. Recoverable. These are the 5 major types. Of card boxes and stuff. Now, sometimes we mix these up. Tetra Pak, which is commonly used, maybe Apifis or Fruity or any, these days we also have milk cartons. Now that has got paper, it has got a metal film, it also has a plastic layer. The moment you mix it up, then separating it for recycling or further disposal process, it gets more challenging. The third category is discard. You can neither compost it nor you can recycle it. Now this is a dangerous category. In that again, I have I have talked about multi-layered plastics. So multi-layered plastics are challenging. When we talk about recycling, if it's a homogeneous substance, same quality, same characteristics, same chemical property, it can be degraded easily. Hazardous substances, biological hazard, something that is infectious. Now, infectious may include household waste. Let's say, I'm shaving my beard and we have razor or blade, whatever we throw or discard. We have menstrual pads, we have diapers, we have, or if there's a patient at home and whatever discard we are throwing away is potentially contagious. It can carry germs and can spread over. Chemical, let's say batteries. So batteries that get discarded from our mobile phones or from our watches or any such electronic gadget that uses it. So e-waste can go as a separate category. Physical waste. Now in physical waste, physically hazardous, what does that mean? Radioactive substances. Okay, so it is the rays that they emit. So it's not, a chemical reaction that's happening, but more of a physical reaction that is harmful. Thermocol. A good number of countries have banned thermocol. India so far is challenged with the ban. They intend to ban it, but they are being unsuccessful. But you might have observed that these days the packaging, suppose earlier you ordered a laptop maybe 10-15 years back, the laptop coating, the packaging used to have a lot of thermocol, but now they have got a substitute made up of paper cardboards. Who generates it? Now let's get into the sources of generation. It's we, the humans. Nature never generates waste. Whatever it generates, it recycles. But for all practical purposes, if we are dealing with the waste management thing, household waste, which we typically label it as garbage, commercial spaces, shopping complexes, offices, it can also include restaurants, street sweeping. Now, ever since the Swachh Bharat Sarvekshan campaign has picked up, and previously those who are of my age or beyond would know that we had Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan, which was introduced way back, way before Swachh Bharat Abhiyan came into force. So streets are being swept. In some of the cities, they are being swept twice or thrice a day. And interestingly, we don't attach too much of weightage to this as a source of pollution. Because in Mumbai, if you observe, air quality index is going higher and higher, and air is becoming more and more hazardous. Whatever particulate matters come out. Construction demolition is one factor. The second is street sweeping. Okay, every morning 6 o'clock, so much of sweeping happens that a lot of dust remains unsettled. Academic institutions, now the ones commerce, management, economics institutions don't generate as much hazardous waste as do probably an institution which deals with biological substances or chemical substances. Construction and demolition waste. Now for large cities which are quite old, now a lot of older structures are being demolished and new structures are coming up. In Mumbai recently, BMC, that is MCGM, Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai, has imposed ban on construction in certain pockets because air is too bad to breathe. Other categories, end of life vehicles. So once a vehicle, now India is trying to promote EV, and India is also trying to comply with higher standards of emission, and therefore they are scrapping out vehicles which are more than 15 years old. For that, government is also incentivizing scrapping and also making the green taxes more and more expensive. So where do all these vehicles end up being? Now, in earlier times, your vehicles did not have much of electronic instrumentations. They were purely mechanical. But now your vehicles are full of electric circuits, full of displays, and too much of electronic substances inside makes it challenging. Now, one interesting article I read a few years back when there was a heavy flood in Bangalore, people said earlier times during floods, if water entered into vehicles, it was easy to clean it up and again reuse the vehicle. But now when the water enters into all these luxury cars, the moment water fills the car, the next day it is not usable at all. The cost of repair will be so high that it's easier to buy a new vehicle than to get it repaired. Radioactive and nuclear waste, we have Atomic Energy Act that specifically prescribes about this, and since it is not something that we generally use as public, therefore we don't come across this much. But some diagnostic centers which are using X-rays and other stuff, they have to take care of and comply with the Atomic Energy Act. Industries and factories, they generate hazardous waste, and this waste is going to hazardous waste management sites, and there is a separate rule that the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has. Pollution control boards monitor it, and they issue the license to operate such treatment facilities. They also can close these facilities. Industries can have their own centers, or they can send the waste to the facilities which are being run by the government. Mining sector also releases lot of waste, many a times lot of liquid waste which goes into purifying the ores to extract metals. Biomedical waste which comes from institutional sources like hospitals, veterinary clinics, you have diagnostic centers, blood banks, abortion clinics, nursing homes. So all of these primarily become the sources of biomedical waste, and they are regulated by a separate rule that operates for these institutions. Now, for larger hospitals which have more than 100 bed capacity, the waste has to be disposed on site, because if greater quantities of waste is being transported over a longer distance, then the chances of infection spreading in the general public increases. So smaller quantities you can collect and take it to a center, larger quantities need on-site disposal. Now let's get into some statistics on waste management. Okay, so characterization of waste in Indian households. Now, EPW magazine, the journal, they published a finding. They did a survey of households, and the average comes to around 1.4 kilograms per household. Now, it is not uniform. Averages are always, they are trying to skip the parts which are to the either of the extremes. But we have three categories here: wet waste, dry waste, hazardous waste. As you can see, high income households have higher quantities of waste being generated per day than the middle income households. Now, this is a very interesting figure. The one in the red circle, it reads, the red rectangle reads MSW management expenditure as percentage of total municipal revenue expenditure. MCGM, which like all other municipal corporations across Maharashtra, have not held elections for the municipality. Okay, so for last 3 years, it is the commissioner who is running the city, and they recently presented a budget of 75,000 crores. This is the annual budget of Mumbai city. And imagine 15 to 25% of it exclusively going for municipal solid waste. That figure becomes as big as, it is like 15 to 20,000 crores, which might be, let me tell you, which might be more than some of the budgets of, smaller states in India. There's huge amount of money in the waste management sector. Now let's discuss the factors affecting the waste generation and waste characterization. Now, what do I mean by characterization? So for waste to be disposed of, you need to understand how much of it is wet waste, how much of it is dry waste. If the wet waste ka percentage increases, then you cannot typically burn the waste and derive energy out of it, just as it happens in Japan and in USA, in many developed countries. In India, as of today, the wet waste, जो bhaji pala hai, ये सारा जो कचरा है, that constitutes as much as 60% of the total waste. Now, the moment there is a wet waste, there is huge moisture in the waste, and burning that will consume lot of energy. So after burning, you can't have energy which can be stored and sold and used. That cannot happen. So the first factor is industrialization of the nation. Okay, how industrialized is the nation, and how much is the consumption pattern? How much of the processed things do people consume in that particular city? Urban, rural, and size of habitation. Okay, size of habitation, I said it is about the dwellings, whether it is a larger city. So tier 1 city will have something different, tier 2 city will have something different. Tier 1 cities, metropolitan cities will usually have a greater quantity of waste. Rural areas typically have lesser quantity, as well as they have greater percentage of compostable waste. Income level of the household. Now, income level in India, defines your standard of living. And in India, consumption becomes a mark of your status in the society. So if you are rich and you are not splurging, then people don't actually give you value. So our consumption patterns are decided by what kind of perceptions are others making of us. That is unfortunate, but that is what it is. Take it or leave it. Cultural factors, eating habits, display of affluence. So these factors also come into picture. So if, let us say, you prefer to cook at home, you will have less waste. You prefer to order food from outside, you will have more waste. People cooking at home will have more of biodegradable waste. People ordering from outside will have more of packaging waste. Average age of the family. Now, this is an interesting factor. Now, typically, senior citizens in the household or elderly people tend to consume less as compared to younger generation. So, if there are younger members in the family, the waste quantity will increase. If the average shift towards the elderly side, then the waste production, the waste generation quantity decreases. Okay, now these are some of the figures, eye-opening figures to say so, and these are very recent figures. NGT, which is National Green Tribunal, a bench of judges exclusively, there to look into environmental litigation. It's a fast-track court for environmental litigation. So they have imposed 79,098 crore ka fine to different states in India for simply not complying with solid waste management. And let me tell you, this is only about cities where people complain to NGT. Where people have not made a complaint, NGT has not got involved there. The second is Supreme Court stays NGT order imposing 12,000 crores cost of on state of Maharashtra for improper management of solid and liquid waste. So this is for our state, Maharashtra. Okay. So 2 years back, National Green Tribunal fined Delhi government for 2,232 crores for poor waste management. Delhi and adjoining Delhi, which we call it as NCR, National Capital Region, which includes Faridabad, Ghaziabad, Gurgaon, which is now named as Gurugram. The moment you enter the city, first you meet is basically a mountain of garbage. Okay, it's hundreds of feet tall and it's scary to say the least. And then Punjab government was fined for 1,000 crores. Now let me tell you one thing, as we just saw here, कि अगर आपका सिर्फ मुंबई सिटी का बजट है सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट का 15 से 20,000 करोड़ रुपए का और ये पूरे स्टेट को फाइन 12,000 करोड़ का लग रहा है, it is unfortunate that but probably cities and state governments would find it easier to pay the fine than to process the waste because that much huge money they have with them. Okay. So our city, Mumbai, also got slapped with the fine of 5 crores. And then BMC subsequently started collecting money from people for flouting of pollution norms and littering and other stuff. Now, this is another thing. So there is something called as Environmental Performance Index, which looks into, as you can see on the right side of the slide, biodiversity and habitat conservation, forest conservation, air quality, climate change mitigation, heavy metals. ये सब factors का assessment करने के बाद में they give a ranking. And you can see if it's a biannual ranking from 2006 to 2024, we have only got worse. So out of 180 cities, 80 countries, that have been assessed for it, we are 176th. We are among the bottom 5 countries when it comes to valuing our environment and valuing our life. And waste management definitely contributes a great deal in this. Okay. Now, if we talk about the relationship between the waste and the air quality. Now, construction and demolition debris, when it is not handled properly and the dust particles are simply present all over. Last month and last month, lot of Mumbaikars faced throat infection and we were having difficulty in talking. It was not typically a viral or a bacterial infection, but it was dust allergy that most of us faced. That bad was the air quality. Now, for a long time, Delhi has been in news because of their poor air quality. But now Mumbai also is competing hard with Delhi to be the number one city that has the most number of polluted air days in a year. Okay. Now, as you can see that, like India has like three cities in India come in the top 10 cities of the world with worst pollution. That's not something to be to boast about. And here are the numbers. 21 million people in India die because of air pollution in a year. 21 lakh people are dying every year. And this is not, this is excluding the fact that we are also shortening our lifespan by consuming more of polluted air. So besides the lifespan shortage, the death number is 21 lakhs. Okay, so 2 days back, this gentleman who is known for his age reversing thing, and he was appearing for a podcast of Nitin Kamath, the famous Zerodha guy. And there he left his podcast midway saying that the air quality is too bad. He was carrying an air purifier with him, but he said that the outside air was coming so much that my purifier will not be able to clean it up. Okay. And so though people condemned his statement and there was a lot of controversy about it, and he also said, what kind of power and what kind of money, it takes to not care for the quality of air in a country. And then he also added that when I go back to America, I find obesity so rampant. And there again, I ask the same question. What kind of power is, continuing with this kind of a culture where people are becoming more and more obese? India again has, India is going to be very soon the diabetes capital and the heart disease capital and the obesity capital. We are fast catching up. Okay. So, but since this gentleman made that statement, people started talking a great deal about it. Nothing new was spoken. We all knew it all the time. He said that merely breathing the air in India for 24 hours is as good as smoking 3.4 cigarettes a day. Okay, so even if you are not a smoker, but our air quality does a similar kind of a damage to you. Okay, so now the question. I'm sorry, since I'm on full screen mode, I will not be able to see the messages if you're posting in chat window. So if people can unmute and speak, the best way to manage waste. Yeah, can I have some answers? Can you please unmute and speak?
They can unmute. I have changed the settings.
Yeah, anybody? The best way to manage waste? Okay, no problem. It's by not generating waste. Simple. There is no other way to manage the waste in a better manner.
So we have one raised. Some of them have raised.
Yeah. Please. They can speak.
Suvarna Sawant and Konda Mundi Hemlata. You can unmute and you can talk.
So,
are you able to?
Yeah, so I guess I also answered to that question now. So we'll move ahead.
Okay.
So how to do that? So the question is not to generate waste. How to do that? Rebel. Now, what does that mean?
Yes, sir. Sir, very good afternoon. Today we are discussing about a very good and most important topic about the waste, sir. I am Dr. Hemalata, speaking from AP, sir. Sir, my suggestion regarding the waste management is, technically we have to use machines and some other important things. We should have some advancement for collection of the garbage. Till today, the sweepers or the scavengers come and sweep the roads till every day in the morning they come. So that causes a lot of smoke, dust, which is coming and joining into the atmosphere. So when we use technically the machines which collect the dust and all from the roads and sweep the roads, automatically we don't have the dust which accumulates into the atmosphere, sir. And second thing, my observation is burning of the waste. So these people, what they do is they are not able to collect such large amount of garbages. So what they are doing is they put it at the end of the street and they put a fire on that, sir. So that is causing a lot of bad smoke and all these things, because all the garbages are of different kinds, what like diapers or all dead particles or something like that, kitchen waste, etc. Everything, sir. And the third thing, most of the thing is the smoking in public is our laws have made that smoking in public is not allowed. But everywhere they are smoking like anything, but nobody is taking care of that smoking also. So that is also causing some lot of hazards, public hazards, sir. So these things are to be strictly implemented. When these things are taken care of, automatically the garbages will be reduced to some extent, sir. And mostly when people put the garbages on the road, they should be punished. They should be penalized heavily, sir. Then only they'll be afraid of doing such kind of things. Everyone is coming and throwing the dust in the night time on the road, sir.
Absolutely, madam. I agree with all the concerns that you have raised. And definitely, I'll come back to that at the end of my presentation, and we'll surely talk about that. Okay. Now, how to do that? It's rebel. Now, what kind of a rebel? All the time, all the industries, all the companies are bombarding us with immense, degree of advertisement, and we are trying to. The production and the consumption thrives on the insecurities of human. Now, what do I mean? If I'm not very satisfied with the way I look, the way I appear, okay, I would use a lot of cosmetics to do a makeover. I would probably buy a lot of clothes or buy a lot of shoes and stuff. I'll keep on purchasing stuff till the time I feel secure about my appearance, okay, whether I'm being judged in a proper manner or not, etc., etc. Now, in urban societies, typically, where the families have become very individualistic and the life philosophy is quite, individualism or the community well-being, that is where the challenge begins. So how do we rebel? We rebel by loving. Because, when you are connected with people and you have a shared well-being thought process wherein you put community over your own self, in that kind of a scenario, you feel quite complete and you are not bothered about what you purchased and what you did not. The moment you bring down your consumption, the management problem solves by itself. But we definitely, it is more philosophical than what probably we try to see in the lives of people. Let's get into what we can practically do when we face it. So reduce it, reuse it, recycle it, recover it, and landfill it. Now, when it comes to recycling, let me also tell you, recycling is not the best solution to it, because recycling is an energy-intensive process. It also leads to pollution. It also is economically not a good choice. Many a times, because we mix up the waste at the source itself, so before it goes to the recovery center or the material recovery facilitation centers, the amount of labor that it requires to segregate it, that itself makes it uneconomical. Now, in India, the good and the bad part, both of it simultaneously, is we are having great inequality. We have people who are uber rich and we have people who can't make the two ends of their life meet. Now, because there is a section of the society which is so poor and whose time, whose labor is so cheaply available to us, they are the ones who are doing a great deal of service to society by simply collecting materials, segregating them, and selling it to rack pickers, selling it to the junk stores wherein it goes for recycling. If we had to if we had to implement, thorough social welfare schemes, and if inequality could be reduced, and if we had to take care of our waste, or if we had to pay for the kind of damage that we are doing, I'm sure we would have had better census. Only because somebody else does and somebody else is getting, you can hire them at a cheaper rate, you don't feel the guilt about it. So in waste management thing, we have composting, aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic is more suited to garden waste or to uncooked waste, and anaerobic is something which goes better with a canteen waste, let us say, wherein you can have a biogas digester, provided you have huge quantities of waste coming in. In recovery, at source, at recycling centers, you can segregate and you can recover. Dumping, open dumping and landfill sites. Open dumping is legally not allowed, but practically seen everywhere. Landfill sites are the ones wherein you take care of how you layer the waste, a layer of waste, a layer of soil, then you spray pesticide for the diseases to not spread. You also monitor the air around us. You also monitor the leachate. Leachate is the liquid substance that percolates down and it enters into groundwater table, contaminates it. Now, ideally, our solid waste rules say that you cannot have a landfill site close to a creek or a river or a coastline. But practically, that is where all our landfill sites are. If you talk about Mumbai, Devnar had the largest dumping ground, which is now being closed down, and it has been replaced by Kanjurmarg. Both of it is on the side of creek. The creek which has been declared as Thane Wildlife Flamingo Sanctuary, the creek which is Ramsar site, the creek which is an eco-sensitive zone, it is under forest, but still our dumping grounds are next to that. Okay. Incineration, open burning of waste to energy program. Now, as I said, waste to energy programs are more popular in Western countries where the percentage of plastic and paper is higher than the biodegradable waste. For us, it is not greatly suited. So we are trying to basically, when we will be having proper segregation, maybe that's the time when we can generate energy out of waste, but it also has a problem of pollution, air pollution. Okay, now what can we do at a household? So these are the kind of composting bins which are available. Now this is something which, if you start composting at home, which is the most radical thing that you can do in your life, and the kind of gratification that you will get out of the experiments. So now what happens is, can the mic be muted? Yeah, thank you. So now what typically needs to be done is that you have to control moisture in the in your waste. It cannot be too wet, it cannot be too dry. You have to control the air inside, you have to control the temperature inside. If the temperature heats up, which is the general outcome for decomposition process, there'll be bacteria, they'll take oxygen, release carbon dioxide and heat, and all of this will rise the temperature, make the temperature rise. Now, then the bacteria start dying. So therefore, every day, preferably twice a day, you have to rotate your waste. You have a stick with you and you do that. Okay. The compost material should be as finely chopped as possible. For larger composting bins, community compost bins, they also hire shredders. So there are mechanical shredders, there are electrical shredders wherein you give the waste, it will chop it down. Chop it down. Why? Because the surface area increases and the composting process is faster. And as you can see in the buckets which are there on the right hand side, there is a tap. The tap is to drain out the leachate, the excess of water that comes out from the top. Now, if you are doing it thoroughly and after an experience of 3 to 4 months, when your compost is set, you can compost your household cooked, uncooked waste in a span of around 30 to 45 days. Now, you can either not add a culture or you can buy a culture from outside. Most of the compost bins companies are selling culture with them. They also sell cocoa peat. Okay, the cocoa peat absorbs extra moisture. We will look into that. Now, this is something which can be done at a larger scale. Okay, maybe the garden waste of, let's say, a university campus or maybe a college campus, maybe the agricultural waste. Now, you know how large is the problem of burning the paddy straw in states of Haryana and Punjab. The entire air blows to Delhi, and they have worse winters, and the schools and colleges have to be shut down. There's odd and even rule schemes applicable, etc., etc. Now, here you can also have vermicomposting, but in vermicomposting, the care that you need to take is earthworms are extremely sensitive to salt, to spices, to oil. They are sensitive to light. They are sensitive to a lot of stuff. So, earthworms work best for garden waste और मे बी निर्माल्य, जो आपके टेम्पल्स में फूल पत्ती है, वो सारा वेस्ट ले आकर के आप earthworm को दे सकते हो. गार्डन से आया हुआ जो लीफ लिटर है उससे दे सकते हो. एंड earthworms consume half degraded substances. वो थोड़ा सा semi decomposed state में होगा. That is what earthworms prefer. Again, you have to prepare a bed, you have to water it, you have to keep it covered, you have to have ample of air there. It takes a lot of patience to build a system like this. Unless and until one is having the perseverance and the commitment to do this, it's a matter of habit. It's not a matter of technical knowledge. It's not a matter of financial capacity. It's not a matter of space constraint. The first thing that it takes is a matter of habit. Every day you should have the habit of giving some 10 to 15 minutes for this cause. Yeah, so this is in a nutshell what to do and what not to do. So basically there are browns and there are greens, and browns and greens ka jo ratio hai, that has to be maintained optimally, especially in monsoon period when the moisture in the air is very high. In that case, you have to have dried waste that you can add to the, या तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं, पहले आपका समर सीजन में अगर कंपोस्ट रेडी है वो थोड़ा सा आप इसमें मिक्स कर सकते हैं ताकि वो एक्सेस मॉइस्चर को सोक कर लेगा. The ones who are doing it with great efficiency, okay, there are people who add non-vegetarian food in the compost and it gets decomposed. There are people who are pet owners and they have dog poops which they add to it and that also gets decomposed. Also, right from human nail to human hair, everything can get decomposed provided you have that kind of an expertise and experience. But to begin with, if you're not very sure, let's say typically if you have to start this at home, people are scared of having a very foul odor that may come. So cooked waste is something that you can add at later stages. To begin very safely, you can start with uncooked waste. So that is like easier. That won't create a foul smell. But eventually, you have to start adding a little of cooked waste also. But avoid adding, let us say, sambar or dal, which is having a lot of water. You cannot make your compost bin watery. Okay, keep that in mind. And there are so many people across the cities which give a lot of hope to our cause. There are people who have built businesses. There are people who have built community action centers. And they are very, very important. Now, one thing that is common in many places is typically the senior citizens are the ones which give so much of time, and we should be so grateful to them. Okay, because they are the ones who are connected in the community, who can drive change, who bring people on the same platform, and they also have time and they choose to give time to this cause. So citizen action groups are very important. Local welfare, जो resident society होती है, resident welfare association, that's a typical term that North Indian people in Delhi use. Okay, So here in our case, residential society secretaries, chairpersons, so they can talk to the ward officers, they can talk to the Nagar Sevak, they can have a space allotted to them for bringing the waste. Even for the material recovery thing, कहीं से प्लास्टिक और ग्लास आपको अगर अलग करना है तो टेम्पररी स्टोरेज का स्पेस आपको चाहिए. It gets so challenging in societies because people are like, भाई यहाँ पे एक गाड़ी पार्क हो जाएगा, यहाँ पे 2 गाड़ी पार्क हो जाएगा, हमको कंपोस्ट बिन नहीं चाहिए. Okay, people prioritize parking space over space to keep their waste, but it is essential. Municipal corporations give 5% ka rebate in the property taxes if societies don't give their waste to the municipal collection. Okay, and if they are having rainwater harvesting, then they are given additional 5% of rebate. So TMC, BMC, all of them, they have started with these schemes, and there are societies who have done it, who have claimed it successfully. So this again is what you can see. These are all from Better India website that I have taken it, and too many examples. So there are people who are having weddings wherein they are like absolutely disposable free. So जो cutlery होगा, so people can also start businesses of providing cutleries on rent instead of going for paper or plastic. And there's so much of a scam in disposable. So things which are not decomposable are being sold off as decomposable. Okay, they are paper plates, but they are all lined up with a plastic coating. Okay, it's because if you go for a pure Bagassi's made decomposable paper plates, they are costly. They will charge you like 5 to 10 rupees per plate, but the other ones are available for ₹1 or 2. So generally people look over finances more than the environment. These are some more examples of people bringing in a lot of change, and people have also made good money out of waste. Now let me tell you, Antony Waste Handling Limited. Now it's just handling limited company. Okay, they are not even calling themselves as management company, because what they do is they collect it in their trucks, they transport it to landfill sites. And जो भी हमारा बजट है म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन का, इसका बहुत बड़ा पैसा जो है सिर्फ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन पे जाता है. So many trucks carrying tons and tons of waste. Mumbai alone generates 7 to 8,000 tons of waste every day. Every day 7 to 8,000 ton का waste है, which is huge. Okay, तो if you look into it, तो आपको अब पता चलेगा कि ये जो कंपनी है एंटनी वेस्ट हैंडलिंग लिमिटेड, it got listed in Bombay Stock Exchange around 2020 or 21 during the COVID times, and the shares have done phenomenal. And this is the first ever company that listed itself and was raising funds from public. Their model is ट्रक लेंगे और ट्रक से उसको भेजेंगे. So much money means so much corruption. Okay, if citizens become proactive and they start reducing their waste, and let's say only 40% of the waste is to be sent to landfill sites, then definitely the number of trucks, the trips that it takes will reduce. So जो companies profit बना रही हैं, वो profit भी उनका कम हो जाएगा. In the Swachh Bharat Sarvekshan that we are having, there are several parameters. And in that, one parameter is educational change. So behavioral change to communication. इसमें अगर हम जाते हैं, तो municipal corporations have hired big fours. There is PwC, there is KPMG, there is EY, you name it, and they are there. And what they're doing is they're doing perception management of municipal corporation. So they reach out to citizens through various innovative messaging techniques, and so that when the citizens are surveyed, आपका municipality के बारे में क्या opinion है, क्या वो कचरा collect करते हैं, are they doing their job well, so you can rate them. So Swachh Bharat Sarvekshan has a component of taking survey of citizens, and to get a better ranking and rating from citizens, municipal corporations are hiring big fours to do brand building, to do perception management. Now, Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation is one of the best municipal corporations in terms of waste management. That is what the Swachh Bharat Sarvekshan rankings say. So Indore is also one which has been there at top for quite a long time. Kumar Shanu had a very catchy song, catchy lines for that. Swachh, hey halla, subah subah jo hai, like their trucks, they have songs playing for inviting people to give the waste. So they boost the morale of the yeah. So this was all from my side. I'm open to taking questions from you people. Yes. Where I had a question from sorry, Sita ma'am. What was the name? I'm sorry, I forgot the name.
Suvarna can unmute. I mean, I have changed the setting.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. My question is related to waste to energy plants. So, what is the idea behind it? Whether it is a decentralization of waste management or centralization of waste management?
सी डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन कब होगा जब आप आपके घरों में और या आपकी सोसाइटीज में आप अपना वेस्ट मैनेज कर रहे हैं. दैट इज अ थोरो एंड अ वेरी जेन्युइन फॉर्म ऑफ डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन. द मोमेंट इट इज कलेक्टेड from different places and brought to a common center, that is centralization. Okay, now in metropolitan cities, space has become a very large constraint. Now our dumping grounds are full. Even Kanjurmarg ka dumping ground in Mumbai is full. The Devnar dumping ground is full, and to have another land available is so challenging.
Dalu?
Chahat ma'am, can you mute yourself? Yeah. So it is so challenging because when the city is full and you have to have a new landfill site, you will have to have it outside the city. Now, आज की तारीख में दहीसर का कचरा, which is one extreme end of Mumbai, is coming to Kanjurmarg. ये जो पीक लेवल पे ट्रैफिक होता है, पीक लेवल ट्रैफिक जो आपका वेस्टर्न एक्सप्रेस हाईवे पे है, ईस्टर्न एक्सप्रेस हाईवे पे है, that truck will take 2.5 hours to reach from Dahisar to Kanjurmarg. Okay, imagine the kind of fuel that they are burning, imagine the kind of smoke they are releasing, and like whose money? It's our money. किसका पैसा है? ये सब हमारा ही पैसा है. So waste to energy का जो प्रोग्राम है, ये एक क्विक फिक्स सोल्यूशन है. इट इज नॉट द बेस्ट सोल्यूशन दैट वी कैन हैव. तो गवर्नमेंट क्या करती है, ये दिखाना चाहती है कि भाई हम कुछ कर रहे हैं, हमने कुछ एक नया कदम लिया है. एंड अनलेस एंड अंटिल नाउ टुडे दिल्ली इलेक्शंस आर हैपनिंग. ओके, बट व्हेन द इलेक्शन द पॉलिटिकल the election manifesto of political parties, when it makes no mention of waste management, no candidate is approaching you and telling you that, you know, bring me to power and I'll solve the waste issues. In India and across the globe, it is the political will that decides what will work and what will not work. Yes, sir. Sankar, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, good afternoon. This is Dr. Satvik. Sir,
Yes.
I have a query, like as we can manage the waste, like we can utilize that waste, whatever the generated by the household, can we treat it as like a kitchen waste, and we can expand the, like some of the waste products that are produced within a house that can be used as a kitchen garden waste.
Yes,
that we can.
definitely, sir.
Apart from that, we can make use of it in a larger scale, so that it helps to it helps in organic farming as well. So in order to make a large scale business activity, so is there any initiative or support from the government in order to do this?
I stay in Thane, which is
Yes,
immediately next to Mumbai, and we have a lot of organizations, you know, Bharat Samarth organization and others, to whom municipality outsources. ठीक है? Typically क्या होता है कि when municipality does things on their own, and if a RTI application is sent to them, and they are expected to reveal the information, and then they become liable, accountable for whatever compliance or non-compliance of the waste management practices are. So they look for group of people who can do this, and they are happy to outsource. So they say, because when somebody else takes it up, they would maintain documentation, and what they need, municipality, the way administration works is, if there is a query, what should we answer? Compliance, non-compliance, they work in that binary kind of a system. A lot of people have done this composting thing at household and society level. Even societies are making a lot of money by composting process. And if society becomes a zero waste society, okay, then in that case, within 5 years of becoming zero waste society, they are able to recover whatever investment they made in making the compost bin, in providing a shade to it, in hiring the manpower, in providing, like, buying a shedding machine. So economy of scale works if the entire society gets involved into it. And at household levels, as I mentioned earlier, it has to come as a matter of habit. Even if you start small, okay, let's say first month you will be thoroughly disappointed, and you will have a thought, should I reconsider my decision to do it? Okay, but subsequently second month, third month, when you start making progress, that taste of success, that keeps you hooked, and one family member will start. Okay, it's like,
it means, sorry to interrupt you, it means like every journey begins with a single step. From
yes.
Individual household to, we should carry this forward.
Yeah.
And one more thing, sir, one article I read during the one of the seminar or FDP I have heard, personally I read, where the temples in a certain parts of southern region, Tamil Nadu, the garlands, the flowers, that after like worshipping to God, after that they collect back and they are creating the compost, like vermicompost. They are preparing
in some of the temples. In some of the temples, they're also making color out of it, bio-friendly color that can be used in Holi from the petals of the flowers. They are also making incense sticks, agarbatti. Okay,
agarbatti, incense sticks.
Yes,
they are doing.
incense sticks. Yeah, so they're also making agarbatti. So a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, but the moment we start ourselves, and it's like getting a pet in the household. So सबसे पहले घर में there will be one person who would say that I want a dog in the house. Rest 5 members will oppose. नहीं कौन साफ करेगा, ऐसा क्या वैसा क्या करेगा. And the moment the pet becomes a member of the family, then everybody is so attached to the pet. Okay, so some member has to take an initiation, even if there is a resistance from the other family members. ये कैसा होगा, बदबू आएगा तो क्या, ये क्या वो क्या. You have to be tolerant towards all the criticism and the restraints. And once the wheel starts, then it is one batch after the other. And then it also brings in a greater consciousness in you, and you also start evaluating your actions in other spheres. Suppose kuch kharidne ja rahe hain, then now you are also making yourself feel better. Oh, now I'm an environmentally conscious person. So every decision you will reevaluate. Should I buy this? Should I not buy this? Is there an option? Is there not an option, and stuff?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable insights. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you. I appreciate your question, sir. Sankar sir, do you have a question? I think Sankar sir had raised the hand.
Yes, sir, I could see before he was raising hand.
Yeah.
Shankar Nayak, sir.
Yeah.
I am here only.
Yes.
Yes, sir, you can ask the question.
So your hand is raised. I thought you wish to ask a question.
Yeah. Actually, when you are metropolitan cities, when you are using this waste management, then how will control this complete 4-wheelers and 2-wheelers?
Sorry, sir, I did not get it.
No, in metropolitan cities, the many 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers are traveling.
Yes, sir.
In this case, what scenario will implication for the control the waste management in these areas, in the 2-wheeler and 4-wheeler?
I'm really sorry, sir, but I'm not able to see what kind of a connection are you trying to make and ask. 2-wheeler and 4-wheeler, their numbers are increasing in metropolitan city for sure.
Yeah.
But waste management, in the sense you are talking about the end of life vehicles, where like when more automobiles will be purchased, so they will be discarded.
Automobiles only. I am talking about automobiles only.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yes, sir. So it's a problem with any consumption, be it automobile or any other stuff. Okay. Uh, so it is a challenge now, unless and until in India, the problem in India is our infrastructure is becoming more and more road centric. Okay, we are
Okay.
creating more and more roads. We are widening them more and more. It's a car-friendly infrastructure. Now, many of the highways, expressways, flyovers, sea links, they don't allow two-wheelers and three-wheelers to go over them. They are dedicated to cars. So once you make your fastest road accessible only to cars, people would prefer to buy a car over a bike. Okay, and in India, vehicle it is less of a need or more of a necessity in the form it's more of a luxury choice. People judge you whether you are coming by a public transport or you have your own car or you have a chauffeur driven car. So if the director of an MBA institute chooses to take a train and walk to the institute, okay, or let's say in the corporate world, the MD, the director, the CEO, if they come by public transportation, so it's a matter of their status, which is not the case in Western countries. In India, it is more about display of how much your worth is in terms of your financial or economic status. That's an unfortunate part, and that is what drives our consumption. The moment you start earning more, you should have a bigger house, you should have a bigger car, and etc. And there's also like what I have personally observed is this consumeristic culture is more to be seen in northern states than southern states. If you go to Delhi, Haryana, there people are wanting to flaunt. If you go to southern part, there people are not as much driven. Now, of course, with cosmopolitan cities like Bangalore coming up and a lot of influx of people from all across the states, things are changing, especially with younger generation. But yes, what ideals we hold, what values we hold for ourselves in our life, that philosophy matters.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you. I understood.
One more thing, sir. With regards to sir question, may I put some thought on this?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Actually, it is not only concerned with the how exactly the government has to play, even from the individual level, that awareness has to be created within us.
Yes.
See, when we have a respect towards the environment, protection of environment, when that ethical values we are inculcated from us within us, then definitely we will contribute for the mother earth and nature. So definitely we will minimize from our end as an individual.
Yes,
how can I reduce that percentage of that I can contribute in terms of waste management?
Absolutely, sir. And nonetheless, we should definitely do it at our end, at individual and community level, but we must always hold our lawmakers responsible and accountable. We must question them, because individuals jo kar rahe hain, and when you have solid waste management budgets which are running into lakhs of crores across India, if you combine the budget of different cities and state governments, it's literally lakhs of crores. And more money, more corruption. That's how it goes. Okay, so if in city everybody becomes too aware and the waste minimizes, it will hit their pockets. They will not be able to spend more. The contractor will not be able to earn more. So we need to bring this into the political discussion also.